Only 1% of people know how to protect their vibration from toxicity. Most people have no idea how much of their energy is being drained every single day. They go through life feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, anxious even when they can't pinpoint why. They wake up tired, go through their daily routines on autopilot, battle through negativity, and by the time they go to sleep, they feel like they've barely survived another day. But here's the thing, this isn't just about stress. This isn't just about work, responsibilities, or the chaos of modern life. This is about something much deeper. This is about energy. This is about vibration. And the truth is, most people are completely unaware that their energy field is constantly being influenced, shaped, and even hijacked by external forces. The conversations you have, the people you interact with, the environments you expose yourself to, all of it is either raising or lowering your vibration. And if you don't know how to protect your energy, you are at the mercy of the world around you. I think about this. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt uneasy, like something was off? Have you ever been around someone who, after just a few minutes of talking, left you feeling drained or irritated, even though they didn't say anything directly negative? That wasn't just in your head. That was energy. That was vibration. And most people ignore these signals because they've been taught to prioritize logic over intuition. But what if I told you that your intuition is your greatest defense? That your ability to sense energy is the key to protecting yourself from the toxicity that surrounds you.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
Toxicity isn't just about obvious negativity. It's not just about dealing with aggressive people or being in bad situations. Toxicity exists in subtle forms: passive-aggressive comments, unspoken resentment, fake smiles hiding jealousy, environments filled with stress and unspoken tension. And if you are not aware of how these energies affect you, you absorb them, you carry them, you internalize them as your own. How many of your thoughts are actually yours? How many of your emotions are truly your own? Because if you are constantly surrounded by negativity, fear, and low vibrational energy, you will begin to mistake those frequencies as your own identity. You will think you are just an anxious person, just an overthinker, just someone who struggles with confidence, but in reality, you may just be carrying energy that was never yours to begin with. So how do you protect yourself from this? How do you keep your vibration high in a world that is constantly trying to pull you down? The first step is awareness. You cannot protect yourself from what you refuse to see. You must start paying attention to how you feel before, during, and after every interaction, every environment, every activity. Ask yourself, do I feel lighter or heavier after this? Do I feel recharged or drained? Do I feel more aligned with my true self? Or do I feel like I've been pulled into someone else's frequency? Your emotions are not random. Your energy is always responding to the world around you. And when you start to track these shifts, you will begin to see patterns. You will begin to notice who and what consistently lowers your vibration. And once you see it, you can no longer ignore it. But awareness alone is not enough. You must take action. You must learn to set boundaries, not just physical boundaries, but energetic boundaries. Because not everyone deserves access to your energy. Not every conversation deserves your attention. Not every situation requires your involvement. Most people, out of guilt or obligation, allow themselves to be energetically drained just because they don't want to seem rude, just because they don't want to disappoint others. But at what cost? At the cost of your own peace, at the cost of your own clarity. Energy is your most valuable currency, and if you do not guard it, others will spend it for you. And then there's the most important step, purification. Because no matter how careful you are, some level of toxicity will always find its way into your space. That's just part of life. But what matters is how quickly and effectively you remove it. I think of it like taking a shower. You wouldn't go weeks without physically cleansing yourself, but how often do you cleanse your energy? How often do you release the thoughts, emotions, and vibrations that are not yours? If you are not actively clearing your energy field, you are carrying the weight of every interaction, every stressor, every moment of negativity that has entered your space. And over time, that weight dims your light. This is why spiritual practices exist not as rituals, not as superstitions, but as tools for energetic maintenance. Meditation, breathwork, time in nature, salt baths, sound healing, intentional solitude, all of these are methods of clearing and resetting your frequency. But most people don't use them because they don't realize they need them. They don't realize how much toxicity they are carrying until they finally release it. And when they do, they feel lighter, freer, more themselves than they have in years. So now I ask you, how much of what you carry is truly yours? How much of your stress, your fear, your doubt, your exhaustion is actually a reflection of the energy you've absorbed from the world around you? And if you could cleanse it all, if you could release everything that does not belong to you, who would you be? What would your energy feel like if it was truly yours, untouched by external toxicity? Because the truth is, only 1% of people truly understand how to protect their vibration. Only 1% recognize the power of their own energy field. Only 1% take the necessary steps to guard, cleanse, and elevate their frequency in a world that thrives on distraction and depletion. And the difference between those who do and those who don't, it's everything. It's the difference between feeling drained or feeling powerful, between feeling lost in negativity or feeling in complete alignment, between constantly battling the energy of the world or mastering your own. But this is just the beginning. Understanding energy is one thing, truly mastering it is another. And the next step is where most people fail, because there is something even more dangerous than external toxicity, something that most people never see coming, something that, if left unchecked, will sabotage your vibration no matter how much you try to protect it. The silent energy killers that most people never notice. The greatest threats to your vibration are not always obvious. They are not just negative people, toxic environments, or stressful situations. The real danger lies in the silent energy killers, the subtle forces that drain your power without you even realizing it. And this is where most people fail. They do everything right on the surface. They cut off toxic relationships, practice meditation, try to think positive thoughts, but still they feel heavy. Still they feel stuck. Still they struggle to maintain a high vibration, and they don't know why. Because the truth is, the most dangerous forms of toxicity are not external, they are internal. They live in the corners of your mind, in the subconscious patterns you have carried for years. They whisper doubts into your thoughts, plant fear into your decisions, and keep you locked in cycles of low vibrational energy. And if you do not recognize them, they will sabotage you no matter how much external protection you create. One of the most powerful silent energy killers is self-doubt. Most people don't realize that doubt is one of the lowest vibrational states a person can exist in. It is the energy of hesitation, of second-guessing, of constantly questioning yourself instead of moving with certainty. And the worst part, most people don't even notice how much of their energy is spent on doubt. They wake up and immediately start questioning their choices. They replay conversations in their head, wondering if they said the wrong thing. They hesitate before making decisions, afraid of making a mistake. And every single time they do this, they lower their vibration. Because doubt is not just a thought, it is an energy leak. It is a hole in your frequency, draining your power little by little. keeping you in a state of uncertainty. Another silent energy killer is emotional suppression. How many times have you swallowed your emotions just to keep the peace? How many times have you pretended to be okay when you weren't? Society teaches us to stay positive, to keep moving forward, to not dwell on the past. But in doing so, people mistake suppression for strength. They push their emotions down instead of processing them. And here's the truth: what you suppress does not disappear. It festers. It sits in your energy field, creating blockages, weighing you down, distorting your vibration. And the more you ignore it, the more it controls you. This is why so many people feel heavy without knowing why. Their energy is full of unprocessed emotions, old wounds, buried fears, unresolved pain. And no amount of external cleansing will fix this. Because the only way to release this kind of toxicity is to face it, to feel it, to let it move through you so it no longer controls you. Then, there is the silent killer that almost no one talks about: attachment to the past. Have you ever noticed how your mind constantly replays old stories? How it brings up memories of failure, regret, heartbreak, embarrassment, things that no longer exist except in your own mind. Every time you relive the past, you are pulling that energy back into your present. You are carrying old frequencies that no longer serve you. And this is one of the greatest energy traps there is, because the past only exists if you feed it. The moment you stop giving it energy, it loses its power. But most people never do this. They hold on to old pain because they believe it defines them. They carry old fears because they believe they need them for protection. They replay old betrayals because they believe they need to remember not to trust again. But all of this is an illusion. The only thing that exists is this moment right now. And the more you train yourself to be fully present, the more you free yourself from the weight of what no longer exists. And then, perhaps the most deceptive silent energy killer of all: subtle negativity. Not the obvious kind. Not the loud, aggressive, in-your-face negativity, but the subtle negativity that hides in sarcasm, in self-deprecating humor, in small complaints that seem harmless but are actually poisoning your vibration. How often do you joke about your own failures? How often do you say things like, "I'm always so unlucky," "I'm such a mess," "I never get things right"? You might laugh when you say it. You might not mean it seriously. But your subconscious mind does not know the difference. Every word you speak carries energy. Every thought you think reinforces a frequency. And if you are constantly feeding yourself even the smallest doses of negativity, over time it accumulates. It becomes your reality. So, now I ask you, how many of these silent energy killers are present in your life? How much of your energy is being drained by things you've never even noticed? Because the truth is, most people focus only on external protection. They think if they just avoid negative people, if they just stay away from bad environments, they will be safe. But energy doesn't work like that. True protection starts from within. Real mastery of vibration comes not just from blocking external toxicity, but from eliminating the internal forces that lower your frequency. And here's the most powerful realization: once you remove these silent energy killers, you don't just protect your vibration. You elevate it. You become untouchable. You move through the world unshaken by negativity, unaffected by external toxicity, immune to low vibrational frequencies. Because once you master your own energy, nothing outside of you can control it. But there is still one final test. One last challenge that determines whether you truly hold your vibration or whether you fall back into the patterns of the past. And this is where most people fail. Because even after they cleanse their energy, even after they protect their vibration, there is one thing that will always try to pull them back down. And if they do not recognize it, it will undo everything. The final battle: how to hold your vibration no matter what. The hardest part of protecting your energy isn't cleansing it. It isn't even cutting off toxic people or avoiding negative environments. The real challenge, the final battle, is holding your vibration when everything around you is trying to pull you back down. Because the moment you start to rise, the world will test you. Old energies will try to return. Familiar patterns will resurface. People who once drained you will suddenly reappear, as if sensing that you've broken free. And this is where most people fail. They do all the inner work, they elevate their frequency, they feel lighter, stronger, more aligned, but then something happens. A trigger, a setback, a wave of doubt. And before they realize it, they've slipped back into old energy. They've allowed external forces to dictate their internal state. So, how do you hold your vibration, no matter what? How do you remain unshaken in a world that thrives on distraction, fear, and lower frequencies? The first truth you must accept is that energy is not static. Your vibration is not something you reach once and then maintain effortlessly. It is a constant state of movement, a frequency that you must choose every single day. And this is where most people get it wrong. They believe that once they've done the work, they should feel good all the time. They believe that once they've raised their vibration, negativity should no longer affect them. But this is an illusion. Even the most enlightened beings still experience challenges. The difference is, they do not allow those challenges to control their energy. The key is emotional discipline. Most people allow their emotions to dictate their vibration. They wake up feeling off, and they let that energy control their entire day. They encounter one negative person, and suddenly their whole mood shifts. But true mastery comes when you are able to recognize emotions as temporary waves, not as your identity. When frustration arises, you see it, you acknowledge it, but you do not attach to it. When doubt creeps in, you witness it, but you do not feed it. This is the difference between reacting and responding. Reaction is unconscious. It is allowing external events to dictate your internal state. Response is conscious. It is choosing your vibration regardless of what is happening around you. But for this to work, you must have energetic rituals in place. You must have practices that keep you anchored in a high frequency, even when the world tries to shake you. This is why daily spiritual maintenance is non-negotiable. Meditation is not just about relaxation, it is about training your mind to observe without attachment. Breath work is not just about oxygen, it is about regulating your nervous system so that external stress does not infiltrate your energy field. Movement is not just about fitness, it is about releasing stagnant energy before it has the chance to take root. These practices are your armor. They are your defense against the chaos of the external world. And then, there is the most powerful technique of all, neutrality. Most people believe that protecting their vibration means staying positive at all costs. But this is not true, because positivity, when forced, is just another form of resistance. And resistance creates more struggle. The real secret is learning to remain neutral, to not label experiences as good or bad, to not attach to every emotion as if it defines you. When something triggers you, instead of thinking, "This is terrible," shift to, "This is just an experience." When something unexpected happens, instead of reacting with fear, shift to, "Let's see where this leads." Neutrality is not numbness, it is power. It is the ability to stay centered no matter what storms arise. But neutrality does not mean passivity. You must still be intentional with your energy. You must still choose what you allow into your space. Because even with all the spiritual practices in the world, if you constantly expose yourself to low vibrational influences, they will wear you down. This means being mindful of what you consume, not just food, but media, conversations, environments. Every piece of content you watch, every song you listen to, every news story you absorb carries a frequency. And if you do not filter what enters your mind, your vibration will be controlled by external forces. And then, there is the greatest test of all the people around you. Because no matter how much inner work you do, if you allow yourself to be surrounded by low vibrational energy, it will pull you down. This is where boundaries become crucial, not just physical boundaries, but energetic ones. It is not enough to simply avoid negativity. You must actively cultivate environments that nourish your energy. You must seek out relationships that uplift you, conversations that inspire you, spaces that recharge you, because your external world is a reflection of your internal state. And if you do not consciously design it, it will be designed for you. So, now I ask you, what is your default vibration? When no one is watching, when there are no distractions, when you are alone with your thoughts, what frequency do you exist in? Because that is your true energy, not what you project to the world, not what you pretend to be when things are going well, but who you are when all else is stripped away. And if that vibration is not where you want it to be, then the work is clear, not to blame external forces, not to seek temporary fixes, but to take full ownership of your energy. To recognize that no one can lower your vibration unless you allow them to. That no situation has power over you unless you give it permission. Because ultimately, this is what separates those who master their energy from those who are controlled by it. The ability to hold their vibration no matter what, to remain steady in a world of chaos, to walk through life untouchable, unshaken, fully aligned. And this is not about perfection. This is not about never feeling negative emotions. This is about awareness. This is about choice. This is about knowing, in every moment, that your energy is your responsibility. And once you truly understand this, once you embody it, live it, breathe it, you will never again fear toxicity. You will never again worry about external negativity, because you will know beyond all doubt that your vibration is untouchable, that you are the master of your own energy, that no matter what happens in the world around you, your inner world remains sovereign, powerful, whole. Because this is true freedom. The unshakable aura, becoming a force that transcends negativity. There comes a moment in every spiritual journey where you realize that protecting your energy is not just about defense, it is about radiating such a powerful vibration that nothing lower can touch you. This is the final shift. The transformation from someone who constantly guards their energy to someone whose very presence transforms the energy around them. Because the ultimate truth is this: the highest vibration does not get consumed by darkness, it dissolves it. And when you reach this level, you no longer live in fear of toxic people, draining environments, or negative energy. You become a force that transcends it all. But reaching this state requires something most people are afraid of: full energetic responsibility. It is easy to blame others for how we feel. It is easy to say that certain people drain our energy, or that some situations bring us down. But this mindset still places power outside of yourself. The true master knows that no one can take their energy unless they give permission, that no situation has the power to shift their frequency unless they allow it. This is the deepest realization, and it is the one that separates those who are reactive from those who are sovereign. So how do you reach this level? How do you become truly unshakable? The first step is to stop resisting negativity. Most people spend their lives trying to avoid, escape, or fight against negative energy. But what happens when you resist something? You feed it. You give it energy. You make it part of your focus, and in doing so, you invite it deeper into your reality. This is why so many people struggle to maintain their vibration, because they are in a constant battle with the very thing they are trying to avoid. But the truth is, you do not need to fight negativity. You need only to rise above it. Imagine standing in a dark room. You can try to push the darkness away, fight it, struggle against it, but nothing will change. But the moment you turn on a light, the darkness disappears instantly. Not because you fought it, but because you introduced something higher. This is how energy works. The moment you shift into a truly elevated state, lower vibrations cannot exist in your space. They lose their power. They dissolve in the presence of something greater. And this is why the most powerful practice is not protection, it is expansion. Instead of constantly trying to shield yourself from toxic energy, focus on amplifying your own. Instead of worrying about what is lowering your vibration, focus on raising it so high that nothing lower can reach you. This shift in perspective changes everything. But expansion requires energetic mastery. It requires learning how to cultivate and direct your own life force with intention. One of the most powerful ways to do this is through breath and presence. Most people move through life in a state of unconscious tension. Their breath is shallow, their body is tight, their mind is scattered. And in this state, they are easily influenced by external energy. But the moment you take deep, conscious breaths, when you anchor yourself fully in the present, you reclaim your power. You become rooted in your own energy field, immovable, untouchable. Another key to energetic mastery is detachment from external validation. Most people's energy is unstable because it is dependent on how the external world treats them. If people are kind, they feel good. If people are rude, they feel bad. If life goes according to plan, they are happy. If something unexpected happens, they spiral into doubt. But this is not true power. True power is when your energy remains steady regardless of external circumstances. When your self-worth is not determined by how others perceive you. When your inner state is not dictated by the chaos of the world. And then, there is the final layer, the most advanced form of energy work. The ability to transmute energy. Most people either absorb or resist negative energy, but the true master learns to transform it, to take in lower vibrations and alchemize them into something higher. This is what true spiritual warriors do. They do not run from darkness. They do not fight it. They transform it. They walk into the most chaotic spaces and bring peace. They enter the most negative environments and radiate light. They meet anger with stillness, fear with love, doubt with certainty. And in doing so, they shift reality itself. This is the ultimate power, to not just protect your energy, but to become an energy that shifts the world. To not just guard yourself from negativity, but to be so expansive that negativity loses its grip in your presence. This is the level where you no longer worry about toxic people or low vibrations, because you are operating at a frequency that is untouchable. So now, I ask you, are you ready to step into this power? Are you ready to stop playing defense and start embodying the kind of energy that transforms everything it touches? Because this is the final test, not to see if you can protect your vibration, but to see if you can hold it so powerfully that nothing lower can exist in your field. This is the true meaning of mastery. This is what it means to be unshakable. And once you reach this level, you will never again fear the energy of the world, because you will know, without a doubt, that your energy is stronger, that your vibration is sovereign, that you are and always have been untouchable.